Don't blink, buying. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 10th July 2025. Today we are talking about, well, actually, we're talking about, I don't even fucking know. Oh yeah, we're talking about a video that we did, a answer to a comment. So somebody saw me sing, and they're not familiar with the channel. They follow me, but I don't see them interacting, so they're possibly new to the channel, right? So I was singing yesterday because I was in a good mood, and I was singing because I'm a nerd, and the person I was talking to, which is Kyle, which is Sermons on a Tree, is also a nerd. So I was like, okay, well, let's nerd it out, bro. And then they asked me if I'm a singer as a joke, and I sort of got it was a joke at the beginning, but then it started making sense. I say, hey, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a worker, I'm unemployed, I'm a boyfriend, I'm an ex-boyfriend, I'm a cousin, I'm a lot of things, right? And I'm part of this universe, and maybe I'm a singer, right? And it kind of made a lot of sense because when you look at it, when you ask me what I am, right? I think one of the biggest questions, and this is actually pretty cool. This is when you think about it, this is a very interesting concept, right? So as a joke, I was talking about how much I am, right? True title, true label, right? Title and label is the way people describe you. For my friends, I'm a friend, right? For my father, my mom, I'm a son. For my neighbors, I'm a neighbors. For my boss, I'm an employees. For my coworker, I'm a coworker, you know? So it came at that point, right? And I think one of the biggest questions that you can ask in your life is, who am I? What is this person in front of the mirror? You see here the tattoo, WAI. Who am I? And it's a question that you ask yourself a lot, right? And then the concept came to me, and it was such an interesting thing because it's true. When you ask yourself, who am I? Your answer is yourself. And depending on the person, they'll ask you. Depending on the person, they'll answer what you represent to them, what you represent, which is a better thing than what you are, right? And then it's so vague and it's so different from people to people that, like, holy shit, what am I? Because I'm on so many answers, right? So then I said the exact thing that I said was like, I'm a son, I'm an ex-boyfriend, I'm a boyfriend, I'm a worker, I'm unemployed, I'm a son, no, I'm a cousin, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a co-worker, I'm an employee. It was a bunch of things, right? And then I'm an inhabitant of the world, and I'm an independent inhabitant of the universe. And then the concept in itself was the fact that I was so many things at the same time, right? And because kind of that being so many things at the same time, kind of lost meaning, right? Because, for example, right? For example, my father, I've been working the same job for 30 years. My mom, for 35 years. And then you ask them what they are, and imagine they're saying like, "Oh, I'm a dad," or "I'm a mom," right? And then, like, holy shit, what about those 35 years? Well, those 35 years were meaningless, right? They'll tell you what posts, what was their job, but ultimately speaking, they're workers, right? Both of them, they're workers, and they've been workers their whole life, right? So for their whole life, they have this title. It actually defined them. Those labels, they truly defined them, right? Saying that I was all of this made me realize how little of each of them I was. Lately, I've been struggling with being Ink and being Steph. I've been struggling with that, with a sense of multiple personality, just because I'm being referred to. See, and this is actually, I didn't even think about going there. I didn't even want to go there, but it's actually the same exact thing. For many of you guys, I'm Ink. For so many of you guys, I'm Steph, right? But I'm none of that. Steph was a name that I was given at birth, and Ink, that was a name that I created, right? I'm not supposed to have a name. Animals don't give each other a name, you know? It's just a way to identify yourself. It doesn't represent you, right? So I realized today that even if though I was all of these things, I was all of these things for somebody else. I'm not my own worker. I'm not my own cousin. I'm not my own son, right? I'm somebody else's worker, son. So it all became kind of meaningless. And then, when it became meaningless, I'm sorry, it's itching a lot. Mosquito bites. We spent almost the whole day on the balcony, so pretty normal. And because it became so meaningless, then I was looking for some meaning, right? And then the question itself, that was a stupid answer, but I am me, right? Which is not a label. You are you, I am me. They are them. It's not a label. It's just a reality. Now, who is me? Who is you? That's a completely different story. But you have to put a label. The label is yourself, right? Because you're all of those things, but you're none of those things. If a neighbor called you son, you say you're not my parents, right? They can be affectionate and call you son because they're older people and say, hey, you remind me of my son, it's affectionate, but they don't mean it as a link of blood or an adoptive son. So it loses meaning. It's like this person that that falls in love every couple of weeks, and you're like, and you tell the girl, hey, I love you. Then this girl been around for a while, so she's like, okay, well, you love me for how much time? Do you love me until we break up? Do you love me now, but when you find another girl, you'll love me? It's complex, right? It's really complex. So being everything but being nothing at the same time, such a cool concept, right? In the grand scheme of things, you being the sun, does it matter? Right? When you're a kid, your parents are your whole world. So they act as a blueprint, but they also act as an identifying. What I mean by that is actually quite interesting. So when you're a kid, right, people don't know who you are. So they'll say, hey, who are you? Are you the son of this guy or this woman? And then I'm like, no, I'm the son of him or her, right? And then, oh yeah, I know them, right? And then you become an adult. And it's like, okay, well, I know what classes you are, right? What class I know what grade you are, right? And then you become a worker, like, oh, this guy, I know his job. He's a plumber, he's an electrician, right? And at what point do you become simply this person, this human being? What do we need to describe ourselves with words? What do we feel the need to put label on it? Where do we feel the need to categorize people into category, right? But even then, at the core, as a human being, this is important. Because at the core, you'll say, I like this person, I don't like this person. This person is nice, this person is not nice. This person is my friend, this person is not my friend. This person is my lover, not my lover. So at the very core of things, you identify, what do they represent for me? And then, ultimately, oh, what the fuck is that? And then ultimately speaking, this feeling of what it represents to something, what it represents to me is simply to identify I like this person or not, right? So when you're in a relationship, right, and people are like, hey, what do you like about this person? I'm like, XYZ. And then like, okay, well, that makes sense, right? It's tough. And then there's nickname. When you fall in love, you call your partner, you call them baby, you call them my love, you call them hermosa. You call them plenty of names, But this name changes between your relationship, right? And then when you break up with them, they become my ex. My parents separated 26 years ago. Well, 27. And they're still calling each other ex. And you realize that they always will be each other's ex. What is the problem with that? I have a problem with the fact that you have this title for 26 years, right? Let's say, I'm going to talk about this more, but I got a call from the government today, right? And they asked me a couple of questions about my files and shit like that, right? And it was actually pretty official, right? And then the only question that she kind of asked that was personal was, do you have a criminal file or criminal case? I don't know how you guys call it in English. And in French we call it casier judiciaire. Criminal case or criminal file. Or you're a criminal, you're a felon, right? And like, imagine if I was, would the conversation completely changed? Would the conversation completely change, right? And that kind of affected me because I'm like, yeah, I'm no criminal. I don't have a court case. My my criminal case is a version of my booty goal. You know, it's not the case for everybody. And then it becomes more complex, and this is where we're going. For example, there's this guy, right, or this woman. Let's say a woman, and she steals food, right? And she steals food and she gets arrested, right? And then in Canada we have this rule: if you steal under if you steal under $1,000, you can have a fine. You can have a fine. You can say, hey, you're not allowed to come here, right? But they're not able to make you to put you in jail, right? However, I had this case about 4 weeks ago. I had this police stop me, and I was nervous because I don't get stopped by the police. And for that I was nervous. The police said, could have think he didn't say it, but could have think, why is he so nervous? What is he hiding? It was an asshole too, so right. And then this person, for example, this woman that steal, and she steal. Let's see what she steal. Couple of canned soups. Look at this shit. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Holy shit. Couple of canned soups, right? Couple of canned soup, a loaf or two of bread, right? And then when you ask her why she did it, I got a family to feed, bro. You know, my kid needs this money. My kid needs this food. Versus this person who steals because they want to have. I went to my mom before yesterday. I don't know. Wait a second. Was it yesterday or before yesterday? I don't even remember. I went to my mom on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. It was before yesterday. And I was. I filmed it so you know it's true. I literally walking. There's this kid. He's a kid. I don't know, teenager or whatever. But to me, he's a kid. I'm 32 years old. I'm an old fuck. You should show me respect. And he's running away. And then he's running, and I'm like, why is he running? And then after that, I'm seeing this woman runs after the guy. It's like, au voleur, which means thief. And then the guy next to me says, shit. The guy next to me said, shit, her phone got stolen. I don't know if he saw it, I don't know what happened. I'm like, holy shit. And the problem was, it was middle of the day. Like, whoa, this is not safe, right? But they take these two people. The person who stole food because their family is hungry, or the person that stole the phone to sell it. And you ask yourself, wow, that was beautiful thinking. And then you ask yourself, in the eye of the law, in the eye of society, they're both criminal. They're both thief. Right? Truth is, when you hear someone that went to jail, the question that you should ask is why. But then society tells you that it's wrong to ask the person why to go to jail, right? Because society tells you that it's wrong to ask anybody they will go to jail, and in your mind you stay with the idea of, I don't know what they did, but they went to jail, so it must be pretty serious, right? It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. My father used to say, oh, somebody that stole an egg stole a cow. Now, it's in French, it makes more sense. Qui vole un œuf, vole un bœuf. So eggs is œuf, and a cow, a bull is the bœuf. They're beautiful thing. I don't know what bird it is, but beautiful thing. So, what ends up happening is, if you steal something, you're a thief, right? However, I don't know if I agree with that. Because yes, stealing is stealing, absolutely. But however, The person who could have stole a cow, but instead stole an egg, to me feels guilt, to me feels remorse. I don't know if I can steal that much, man. That's not nice. But an egg, I'm hungry, dude. My family's hungry. If I steal one egg, maybe I can feed them, right? Times are tough. Times are really tough, right? So they get a call from the government because I asked for help financially. I have a job. But if I work 25 hours a week, 25 hours a week, they'll pay me 400. That's 1,600 per month. I'm lucky my rent is not expensive. I'm happy. I'm lucky because I don't eat a lot. I'm lucky because my mom, she gives me a lot of food. My father gives me a lot of food. You know? But this apartment, this is my apartment. If I was a new... Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I don't care. You know? Is that because I'm doing a video about that after for police? Which is going to be repeated content. Shit. My apartment is 675. 70. I don't remember I know it's 70 something. 670. Right now I'm 635. So an increase of $25 or $40 per month, which is an increase of 3,850 or 4,000. Yeah. A bit tougher. It's a bit tougher. You know? So I'm lucky, but not everybody's lucky. I don't have a girlfriend, so I have to feed myself, that's it. I don't have kids, so I only have to feed myself. If I had kids, I wouldn't make it. You know? So, last month, when I didn't have a job, I called the government today. I called the government. And then the government called me today and said, hey, are you still looking for work? And I'm like, looking for work. And then, no, they don't need help. I'm like, what were you gonna offer? I'm curious. And then they want to offer me a formation, which is going to school for a specific job. And they would pay me $465 per week, which is more than what I do working, right? So yeah. Anyway. I don't know. But yeah, what am I? I'm myself, and that's it. Who am I? I'm myself, that was always it. All those other labels, all those other names, they're just societal fabric. They're just calisthenics for a person. They don't mean shit. And they never did. We love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.